Hey everybody, it's Clint Arthur coming to you live from the main post office in New York City. Man, I really don't like having to go to the post office on a Saturday night. It's now 12 minutes before 9 o'clock on Saturday night, July 1st. July 4th weekend. Not open? Okay. They're locking up the doors already. And, oh, no video? Unreal, no video. That's what that was all about. I'm walking out the door, guys gotta tell me, no video. Anyway, here it is. It's Saturday night. I'm at the main post office in New York City. And I've been trying to get the package sent. See, I had to send a package. It was an important business correspondence, sending out money. And it had to get done. Now, FedEx was supposed to be open. The FedEx location on Union Square was supposed to be open until 7 o'clock. And I got there and it was closed. I might have got there at 7:02. My fault. So then I look on the map and I see that the next nearest FedEx location in Astor Square is supposed to be open till 9. So all of a sudden, the heavens open up and it's just pouring rain in New York City. And I'm like stuck under the canopy of a construction scaffolding. And all of a sudden I see a cab come, I hop in the cab, I get down to the FedEx station at Astor Square, Astor Place, and I go to the doors, closed. And it's pouring rain. What am I gonna do? Well, I walk almost home and I come up with the idea that what about the post office? Can I possibly get this into the system? Because it's very important to the person I'm sending this package to that they get their package and they wanna know that it's already sent. For some reason, they're very concerned that I'm gonna send this package. So I hop on the subway, and I'm putting some pictures in of me on the subway. I hop on the subway and relying on my knowledge of the subway from when I'm a kid, right? I mean, I take the L train across 14th Street, and then I take the A train over to 8th Avenue. And sure enough, I get to the post office in time. About 17, 18 minutes before they close. And so here it is. It's in the system. It will be on the way today, and it'll be there probably Monday or Wednesday, one of those two. You know, the post office, they're not guaranteed. But at least it's in the system. Now, why did I do this? Why did I go to such extraordinary lengths? I went to 2 FedEx locations. I went, and when neither one of those would come through, I went to the post office by subway to get there in time before it closed. I did it because that's what you gotta do as an entrepreneur. Sometimes you just gotta do whatever you gotta do. You just gotta get it done. And the other person, they don't care. They don't care why it didn't get done. They just want it done. And you know what? That's their prerogative. It really is. It's their prerogative to feel however they want to feel. And as an entrepreneur, it's your job to get it done so that whatever needs to get done gets done. If it doesn't get done, you know who's gonna pay the price? You, as an entrepreneur. That's why it's like hot, sticky, humid, pouring rain, muggy summer in New York City. It's Saturday night. Allie's taking a nap. So it's not like I could be out on a hot date with my wife right now. She wasn't feeling good, so she's taking a nap. She's been under a lot of stress lately. We're getting ready to do our Harvard Thought Leader Conference. We got 125 speakers and guests. All in all, almost 150 people coming at us every single day. And we love them, but it's a lot of work. And then we have added stress of other people coming at us for other things. And the way we run our whole empire is just me and Allie and a couple of part-time VAs and other independent contractors who we outsource or use to do certain things for us from time to time. But pretty much it's just me and Allie who got to take care of everything. And so people have questions, people need help, people can't figure stuff out. It all falls down on Allie because nobody can provide customer service like Allie. She's the best. Everybody loves her. And that's why, one of the reasons why we do so great. The other reason we do so great is because we do things that no one else can do. That goes down to unique positioning in the marketplace. Unique positioning. What can you do that nobody else can do? That's a really important question you need to ask yourself. What can I do that nobody else can do? What can I do that people really want but nobody else can do? Check out the anti-terrorism guys over there. Freaking machine guns and stuff. Jesus. Helmets. Look at that. Wow. If you don't have unique positioning, then you need to figure out how you can become a celebrity. You got to have unique positioning and celebrity positioning. Unique positioning and celebrity positioning. If you don't have unique positioning, you got to have celebrity positioning. If you do have unique positioning, celebrity positioning will help you. Love this freaking city. Love it, love it, love it. So, all of this is to say, God bless America. It's coming up on July 4th. Happy Independence Day weekend, everybody. And God bless this great country where a guy like me, who not all that long ago in the grand scheme of things, I was driving a taxi to survive. Basically camping out on a little boat with no electricity, no heat, no running water, no toilet facilities. Just surviving on a boat as a taxi driver for many, many years. How a guy like me could become who I am today. Allie and I are going down to Atlanta on Tuesday. And we got, I think we have 6 or 7 people coming to my VIP speaker training who are all enrolled at Harvard. They're coming to VIP speaker training for me to help them give better speeches at Harvard for their marketing videos. And then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got 14 people registered for Celebrity Launchpad. They're gonna show up, they're gonna get booked on TV, they're gonna book themselves on TV. We guarantee them at least 3 bookings. They will book themselves on at least 3 TV appearances or else they get all their money back plus $1,000. And we've had 100% success. No one has ever failed. I'm not about to embrace anybody who's gonna fail. I have 1 space left in that class. It's a maximum of 15 people in a class. If you are an author, a speaker, a coach, an entrepreneur, and you want to make a bigger difference, have more impact and influence in the world, and more income, maybe it's obvious, but it bears and is worth saying, by becoming a celebrity on TV, news, and talk shows, it's going to be a whole lot easier for you to not be one of those people, but rather to be one of the people who has their dreams come true. So, but Clint, you're like taking subways and running around New York City to mail an envelope on a Saturday night. Is that making your dreams come true? Yeah, it is. It truly is, man, because I am not punching a clock. I am not doing anything I don't want to do. I'm going to be doing my Celebrity Launchpad training Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Atlanta. Monday, Allie and I get on a plane. We're flying out to Jekyll Island to a luxury resort for 10 days. No screaming kids, no cars, just relaxation prior to Harvard. You know, I was in a mastermind. I was in Genius Network Mastermind for 2 years. 25 grand a year to participate in that mastermind. And the number one thing I learned at Genius Network was take more vacations. Thank you, Dan Sullivan. Yes, Dan Sullivan taught us you got to take more vacations. It was a common theme that I heard amongst all the high net worth individuals in Genius Network. And then there was another one that was by Dan Sullivan, and he said, make sure you take vacations before big events so that you can decompress, de-stress, and prepare yourself for the big event. Look at that. Oh man, I love this city. Look at that. Prepare yourself to do great at your big event. So that's why we're going to Jekyll Island. We're gonna spend 10 days on the beach, sleeping in, talking on the phone, walking on the beach, relaxing, swimming in 84-degree water, warmer than Hawaii. That's why I picked it. To me, see, my favorite thing in the world is to swim in tropical waters. That's my favorite thing. And that's why I do whatever chance I get. That's why we're going to Jekyll Island to do it. And I remember when I started this whole adventure, it was like October of 2011, no, 2010 or 11, I went to the National Publicity Summit, and they had their opening night party right here at O'Reilly's Pub. That's where the opening night party was. And I didn't get booked on any TV. That time, the next time, or even the third time I went to the National Publicity Summit, no matter how many local TV appearances I did, I didn't get invited to do any TV appearances as a result of that. And that's why I really created Celebrity Launchpad. See, what they don't understand is I'm not a competitor of the National Publicity Summit. I hate to say it, I'm a client who didn't feel like they got enough. And that's why I created Celebrity Launchpad, to be able to deliver what people really need. You know what people really need? If you want to become a celebrity on TV, you know what you really need? You need to go on local TV news and talk shows and book yourself on those shows and work your way up from small shows to medium shows to large shows, all the way to the biggest shows in the world, including the Today Show, Good Morning America, Dr. Oz, CNN, like I and my students have all done. I have students who've been on all of those shows. Look at this freaking crazy life going on in New York City. I hope you're enjoying this tour. There's like a whole 34th Street view. We're walking down Broadway right now. And I have a whole different view of what events should be like. You know, we don't have them in some kind of a dive bar. Everything we do is of the highest class. Like, you know, you think about our Harvard event at the Harvard Faculty Club. Imagine as classy as you can imagine. Even though Malcolm Forbes said the word classy ain't. As classy as you can imagine, the Harvard Faculty Club, it's even classier. And that's our event. That's what everything we do. Everything we do, we over-deliver in every way. We try to have more class than anybody. And that's part of why this had to go in the mail tonight. This had to go with tracking to the person via U.S. Postal Service. It had to get in the system tonight, just to show that I have good faith. And that's exactly what we did. Allie and I worked hard putting together that package. It was a lot of work to put together that package. A lot of accounting work had to go into putting together that package. And that's what we did. We made it happen. We got it done. And I got it into the system. Because just saying, I'm sorry, the FedEx wasn't going to be open, I knew this person was just going to be giving me an endless ration of shit and all kinds of threats and hardships if I did not get the package into a system, so that I could say, okay, here's the tracking information. It'll be there when the post office delivers it. I tried to get it in FedEx. I went to multiple FedEx locations. I couldn't get it in. But I did get on the subway and get it into the last open post office in New York City. There was a time, you remember when the post office on 34th Street was 24 hours? You remember that?
Yeah, that's what you got done.
You don't remember that? When I was growing up in this city,
It was 24 hours?
it was 24 hours on 34th Street and 8th Avenue. My dad was an accountant. We used to go there at like 11:30 p.m. on tax day and put all the tax returns in the mailboxes.
Closed at 4, right?
Now they close at 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Yeah, you know, I think I learned that whole thing about, you know, just going to the post office and getting it done from Dan the man who raised me. The man who raised me inspired me to want to be a businessman, sent me to the Wharton Business School, set the example. You know, he trained me in accounting. I didn't like accounting in college. I really didn't like it. It was one of my least favorite classes. Statistics was my least favorite class. And what was that other one? Calculus. Calculus and statistics. Those were my least favorite classes. But accounting was right up there after it. And I did a lot of accounting when I was a little kid. When I was like 10 years old, my dad would pay me 25 cents. He would give me a big stack of checks for one of his business customers, clients. Like, he had this deli in the Bronx that was a client. So he'd give me the big stack of checks from the deli. I remember those because I'll tell you more about it. He'd give me the big stack of checks from the deli in the Bronx. And he would say, okay, put these checks in numerical order. And for 25 cents, I would sit there and put all the checks in numerical order. Then when I got older, then I would do the bank reconciliation. The bank reconciliation is when you reconcile all the deposits against all the checks, all the money that went out against all the money that went in, and you reconcile it and see if there's anything, there were any errors. And I remember I would do the bank reconciliations with the checks, and there was always these checks made out to whatever carting company, carting. And I would say, Dad, what's carting? He goes, oh, that's when they take the trash away, they cart it away. It was a company, some carting company. Anyway, he's the one who would take me to the post office late at night, and I think I got my get it done attitude from him. Because I'll tell you what, that guy got shit done. He really did. He got it done. For everybody. For his clients, and especially for his family. He got it done. When I was growing up, we were middle class. You know, we weren't rich by any means. But I never felt like we didn't have enough money to do anything we wanted to do. We had a car. We lived in New York City on 23rd Street and 2nd Avenue in Manhattan. We went on vacations. When I was 12, they bought a summer house out in Long Island. I mean, somehow my parents managed to do it, to get it done. And a lot of it came from Dan the Man, getting it done. Getting it done. He said to me, he goes, when I swing, I hit. That's what he said to me one time. It's true. It's 100% true. When the man swung, he hit the ball. Always. Now, there was a lot of swings he didn't take. I remember my mom wanted to buy a building in New York City. She wanted to buy a building near Gramercy Park, a townhouse. This guy going the wrong way. Wanted to buy a townhouse. It was $785,000 to buy this townhouse off Gramercy Park. Oh man. You know what that townhouse would be worth today? You have any idea what that townhouse would be? Now maybe it would never have survived the divorce. Maybe it would have been sold. Probably. But that was a swing he never took. And that's too bad, because I tell you what, that townhouse off Gramercy Park today would have been worth, Jesus, $15 million. Easy, easy. So now we're going through the park. This is the park. You might have seen my other video on YouTube. This is the park where I first bought a joint. This is the park where I first bought a joint. My friend from summer camp is named Russell Fine. And Russell Fine said, hey man, it's my birthday. I'm gonna have a little party. When you come up, I want you to bring a joint. He actually said, if you don't bring a joint, don't come. Now, in retrospect, that wasn't a very friendly thing to say, was it? Right there on that bench right over there, there was this guy in a military jacket, army jacket. And as I walked by, I came to this park because it was seedy. I came to this park because I figured I could probably score a joint, i.e. I could probably score some drugs here in this park. So I came to this park, and sure enough, there was a guy in an army jacket. How's that for a nice view? Let's pause right here and give you some of this. Guy in an army jacket, and I'm walking by, and he goes, joints, joints, cents, cents. And I go, hey, what do you got? He goes, have a seat. Cool. He goes, I got Acapulco Gold. Now today, Acapulco Gold has a whole lot of different meaning to me. Today, Acapulco is where I go to vacation. Acapulco Gold is my relaxation time. I want some golden time in Acapulco with my wife. We love it there. We go to Las Brisas all the time. After Las Brisas gave us a couple of free vacations, now we go there whenever we want. So anyway, that's when I started smoking pot, when I was like, you know, the first time I smoked pot, actually, it was for my 12th birthday. There was this counselor in the camp. See, it was different times in those days. She was a CIT, counselor in training. I was in love with her. Her name was Toby. I was in love with Toby, and today I'm married to somebody who basically is Toby. Same girl. Basically, same girl. Toby was from Pennsylvania, and Allie's from Pennsylvania, and I swear to God, Toby and Allie are pretty much the same girl as the girl I fell in love with when I was 16 years old. And for my, I'm sorry, when I was 12 years old, she was 16. And for my 12th birthday, she gave me a hit off a bomb. That was my first time smoking pot. I don't know if I got high or not, but after that summer, Russell Fine says, hey man, come to the birthday party and bring a joint. So I came to this park to get a joint. And I smoked pot for a couple of years. I did. For a couple of years, I was smoking pot. We're almost home, by the way. So we're gonna wrap this video up soon. I smoked pot until I was about 14, here and there, every now and then. And I realized I didn't like it. I really didn't like smoking pot. By the way, this is 11 Madison Park, the #1 restaurant in the entire world. Like the top ranked restaurant in the whole world, right there, 5-minute walk from my house. So I quit smoking pot when I was like 13, 14 years old. And I didn't smoke pot again until college. And my roommate and a lot of the guys in his little clique smoked pot all the time. And I still didn't smoke pot most of my sophomore year when I was living in the castle, my fraternity with my roommate. Most of that year I did not smoke pot because I knew the pot would make me paranoid and I didn't like it. It came to be the end of sophomore year and I smoked pot a couple times. And then I would smoke pot again, infrequently, just a hit every now and then. And then I graduated from college and I was still smoking cigarettes and I was smoking pot and I directed a movie. I was trying to be like Hollywood. I thought if you're in Hollywood, smoking pot is very part of what you do. You know, after college, like that roommate father gave me a job on a movie. It was a big movie called Firebirds with Nicolas Cage, Tommy Lee Jones, and Sean Young. And I was a PA on that movie, and then I went on vacation. I started dating his sister, and I went on vacation with the family to Acapulco. And we smoked a lot of weed in Acapulco. And I got this feeling like, you know, if you want to succeed in the movie business, you got to smoke a lot of weed. And I started smoking weed. And then when I quit smoking cigarettes, then I started smoking weed like they were cigarettes. Like smoking weed fulfilled my love of smoking. See, I love smoking cigarettes and then weed. And so, you know, luckily I kind of toned it down. It's like, don't think that I was smoking a pack like of joints every day, 20 joints a day. I wasn't. As I got older, I would smoke a few hits in the evening, pretty much every evening. And sure enough, you know, it wasn't until I went to this raw vegan retreat called OHI, where part of the rules were no drugs or alcohol. So I stopped smoking pot on December 14th, 2009. Next thing I know, January 21st, 2010, I got booked on my first TV appearance. Now, is it because I stopped smoking weed? You figure it out for yourself. I do know this, looking back on it all, I do know now that I don't smoke weed, I have a whole lot more confidence, a whole lot less self-doubt and insecurity. I'm gonna walk over here so you get the nice view of the clock. I honestly believe that stopping smoking pot has really enabled me to fuel a lot of the dynamic growth that I've had over the past few years. I wouldn't have had the courage to go for a lot of the things that I've gone for and to make it happen, to believe, to dream and to believe in the giant dreams that I've been able to accomplish. Especially when, you know, I call the publicist. After I stopped smoking pot, then I wrote my book. I hadn't written a word in over 8 years. You know, my 13-year Hollywood dream odyssey ended on New Year's Eve of the millennium while I'm driving a taxi and I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I'm never gonna write anymore. I'm never gonna go on auditions. It's over. I'm done chasing the Hollywood dream. And once I stopped smoking pot, it reignited my dream. The first thing I said I had to do was I had to write my book about what helped me to be successful as an entrepreneur once I stopped trying to be a movie star. That was the book, What They Teach You at the Wharton Business School. And then I hired the publicist and I paid her a lot of money and she booked me on some shows. And then my wife said, hey, why don't you book yourself on shows? You know, it took me months months and months and months of calling and getting people slamming the phone down in my ear, saying, don't call us, we'll call you. And yet I still persevered. Here I am crossing against the light. But yet I still persevered and figured out, how do you book yourself on TV? And it was because I learned how to book myself on TV that I was able to book so many appearances. I've just done my 84th television appearance. And the last 12 television appearances I've done have all been national or international shows. Many of them in New York City or Los Angeles. You know how hard it is to get on TV in New York or Los Angeles? It's hard. And yet I've been on, the last 12 shows have all been New York and LA. Me, who am I? You know, I know many of you are thinking, who am I to think I could go on TV? I know that's your problem. That's the biggest problem any entrepreneur has, any author, speaker, coach, entrepreneur, is you think, well, who am I to do it? Sure, Clint can do it. Sure, Kellyanne Petrucci can do it. Sure, Veronica Gray can do it. Sure, Joyce Joya could do it. She's been in the National Speakers Association for decades, public speaker, professional speaker. Sure, everybody else could do it, but who am I to think I could do it? I'm telling you, that's the problem, that who am I? And you gotta battle that all the time, because it's really the biggest thing that's holding you back. So, unfortunately, the battery on my phone is coming to an end. I really didn't expect to be gone for so long. I thought I was just walking to FedEx. I was gonna put that envelope in FedEx and go home. But that didn't work, so I went to the next FedEx and they were closed, and then I got caught in the rain, and then I got the idea to go to the post office up on 34th and 8th, and you've been with me ever since then. And now I'm back here in my own neighborhood, and the battery on this phone is just about dead. So I hope you've enjoyed this little walk through New York City and down memory lane. Here we are on 3rd Avenue. Let me tell you about something that happened to me right here. Okay, so when I was 19, this is the best story. When I was 19, right here is where it happened, right in the middle of 3rd Avenue. When I was 19, came back to New York during summer break, or maybe it was, yeah, was it 19? Yeah, came back to New York on summer break after college, and I hooked up with some of my high school buddies, and we all went to go see Tina Turner at this theater on 3rd Avenue and 11th Street. And then we went to go get pizza at St. Mark's Pizza Place on St. Mark's Place, like we would always do in high school, and, you know, have a couple slices, and we're drinking beers. And then we went to the Grassroots Tavern and drank more beers, because our friend was the bartender there, Fraser, God rest his soul, died of AIDS, great guy, who was giving us free beers in the Grassroots Tavern from the time I was 16 years old. Back then, you could drink in New York when you were 18. So it gets to be like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I start walking home, and I'm drunk. And I'm walking home, and I see this garbage truck pulled up on the street. And I thought to myself, wow, I could just hop on the back of that garbage truck, and then when I get to 23rd Street, I'll just hop off. So that's what I do. I get on the back of the garbage truck, and he starts heading up 3rd Avenue. And we get to 23rd Street, and this guy's like in 3rd gear. The lights are green. I look over to the side, the lights are green all the way up 3rd Avenue. Like, it's just gonna be, if I don't get off this truck, I'm gonna be on 59th Street before this truck stops. If it even stops by then. The guy must have been laughing. He must have known that I was on the back of the truck. He must have been laughing. So I get this bright idea. I say to myself, and I swear to God, we're going like 30 miles an hour, but I'm drunk and it's late. I want to get home. And I thought to myself, all right, well, if I jump off and I start running in the air, I could get up to speed and land and be running. And that's how I'll get off the truck. So I got up to like 25th, 26th Street, and I got up my nerve and boom, I jumped off and started running. And as soon as the tip of my toe touched the ground, boom, I went right down. Lucky there was no cars coming behind me that ran me over, because nobody would have expected somebody to jump off a garbage truck. Oh man. Man, I was fucked up. I was so fucked up. I go home and I try to sleep and I'm like, oh man, I gotta go to the hospital. So I get out of the bed, I go downstairs and I go and I get in, I hail a taxi and I get in the cab and I say, I gotta go to the hospital. And the guy drives me a couple blocks away and he takes me over to Bellevue Hospital. Now, for those of you who don't know what Bellevue Hospital is, Bellevue Hospital has a very famous psychiatric ward. Like, you know, most people go to Bellevue for psychological reasons. But they have an emergency room there, and the guy drops me off at the emergency room. And I sit down in the chair, I go up to the nurse, and I register, I tell her, you know, I think I broke my wrist. And she goes, okay, sit in the chair there. And I sit down in the chair and I look around and I notice I'm the only person in the waiting area who's not handcuffed to a chair or to a stretcher. I'm the only one. I don't know how long I waited or anything. I don't think they gave me any x-rays. I think they just felt me and they said, nothing's broken, you're just fucked up. It's gonna hurt for a while. Just expect that it's gonna hurt because there's really nothing you can do. So then I went home and somehow went to sleep, passed out from exhaustion. And that was the end of that adventure. There's more adventures to come. There's more adventures that I will tell you in future videos. If you like what you saw, I would highly suggest that you press the like button on this video, and I highly suggest that you subscribe, because I'm going to be making a lot more of these storytelling type videos, sharing my life, or what I have whenever I'm on an adventure. This was a little adventure. I've just walked home, so I'll show you. Hopefully this battery will last until I get upstairs. But that's the building. That's the building where I grew up, right there. That building right there is where I grew up. And then this is where I have an apartment right now. And hopefully we'll make it. Oh man. Grew up in this neighborhood, went to elementary school, walked to elementary school, walked to junior high school, I went to junior high school with Robert Downey Jr., just a few blocks away from here. I'll tell you a quick story about Robert Downey Jr. He goes, hey man, I just got a Puerto Rican chick to give me a blowjob in the schoolyard. He was all excited and happy. I said, what's a blowjob? True story. Living up there. Let's go in here. They're doing construction around here. Been doing construction for a while. Let's get in here. Go upstairs. You'll have seen the whole adventure. I wish I had started this video when I was in the subway. That would have been cool. But I put some photos in there. Go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Here, there's like very little artwork in here. This is one of the pieces of artwork. It's New York, baby. This is New York. I'll tell you what. This is New York City. Real New York City. Going up. I'm kind of tired. Look through my sweaty. Yeah. how sweaty it is. It's been a long day. But I got a lot of steps. That's cool. I got a lot of steps. Oh, I hope I had this phone on airplane mode. I hope it was still counting steps. I don't know. I hope so, because I got a lot of steps. I had my whole 10,000 steps already. Here we go. 13th floor. This apartment's on the 13th floor, and my daughter was born on May 13th. And when she was 8 years old, her email signature said, "Out to prove that 13 is a lucky number." 8-year-old kid. All right, here we are. There we go. I'm sorry. I didn't have a lot of battery, so I put my phone on airplane mode. I'm making a video. I went to the post office. I'll show you. Yep. And now here we are. Home sweet home. All right, if you liked the video, please subscribe. Please like it. Please share it. And remember, it's up to you, baby. Make it happen.